It's Grey Knights and Thousand Sons release week, so let's see what's coming for two of the most Psyker-heavy factions in Warhammer 40k. Hello and welcome back to Auspex Tactics, where today we're just taking a look over this week's releases, and it seems that the Thousand Sons and Grey Knights are coming sooner rather than later. Definitely both armies that will greatly profit from having their codexes. Neither of them have been having all that much tournament success, and it's going to be interesting to see some really Psyker-heavy armies take to the table. There haven't been all that much of a common theme in 40k so far this edition. I will of course be reviewing both codexes in full just as soon as I can. I suspect I might be a little bit slower off the mark with the reviews this time, maybe coming out Monday and Tuesday, but of course I will endeavour to get them to you as soon as I can. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see reviews for either of these codexes. So anyway, let's talk about what is and isn't coming to pre-order this Saturday, as shown off on Warhammer Community. First up we have both their codexes of course. Quite nice that they're not bundled in an exclusive box like the Orc one. They'll be £30, $50 or €37.50, and as with all 9th edition codexes, are near enough guaranteed to bring a massive power boost to both factions, with big improvements to their datasheets and various abilities. They'll also have their Crusade content as well. I did find it quite interesting that apparently there's going to be some sort of strange mechanic for Grey Knight characters to dedicate themselves to destroying one demon nemesis. That does sound like really quite a cool bit of lore that could be fun to explore. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of cool stuff for the Sons of Magnus too. I'll certainly be interested to see how Magnus is on the table, seeing as what they did to Mortarion. Next up, of course, we have this big Hexfire box. Essentially this looks like the same as the Piety and Pain one, the one where it was Drukhari versus Sisters, and it basically follows the exact same principle, 2 new unique characters, and 2 small forces, one of Grey Knights and one of Thousand Sons. Based on Piety and Pain, I would expect it to be around £105 or $170. The value of the miniatures within looks very similar to me, so I would be surprised if it was anything different. In the box there's Castell and Crow, a Dread Knight, and 10 Strike Marines on the Grey Knight side, and for the Thousand Sons there's this new Infernal Master character, sort of half Chaplain, half Sorcerer in terms of in-game abilities, a unit of Zangors, a Zangor Shaman, and a unit of Scarab Occult Terminators. The reaction to the mocks, I must say, was quite mixed. I think a fair few people were hoping for something like new updated Strike Marines, and maybe the Thousand Sons half of the box feels a little bit weedy because it's got 2 characters in rather than more squads, and it certainly seems like the 2 wouldn't be balanced going to head at least. The Grey Knights just look like they have a lot more raw power. Really though, I do understand why the units are included in the box. Basically Grey Knights and Thousand Sons only really have 3 big unique plastic kits for each faction. The Dread Knight, the Strike Squad and the Terminators on the Grey Knight side, and the Scarab Occults, the Rubrics and the Zangors on the Thousand Sons. I think getting 2 out of 3 core kits for the faction isn't really all that bad myself, but obviously it does depend what you have already and what you necessarily wanted more of. I'd certainly bear in mind that we don't know the contents of the new codexes yet. Some of these units could be absolutely amazing and we wouldn't know. For the Thousand Sons side, I strongly suspect that both the Scarab Occult Terminators and the Zangors are going to be far stronger in the new decks. In any case, it's a limited edition box, so it might sell out very quickly. If you want to guarantee it, I'd certainly be ready when it drops on Saturday. Though I'm not sure it's necessarily going to sell out quite as quickly as Piety and Pain, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'll be hoping to snag 1 or 2 of them for a channel giveaway in the future. I'll keep you posted if I manage to get hold of any. Moving on, there's the usual accompaniments to the codex. There's 2 sets of unique faction dice, these silvery ones with a book symbol on the 6 for the Grey Knights, and some sort of turquoise blue ones for the Thousand Sons. They'll be £20, $35 or €25, a bit expensive for dice in my opinion, though I guess they certainly fit with the flavour of the army. The dice are usually limited runs and they won't be available permanently. Then we have the data cards for both factions. They're £15, $25 or €20, and as it goes out of all armies, Grey Knights and Thousand Sons might be some of the ones that really do benefit from these data cards. With loads of psychic spells, buffs and debuffs flying around, it might not be the worst pickup. They are pretty nice for denoting which psychic powers are in play, so you don't have to remember quite as much. Finally, that brings us on to what's not being released this week. It does appear that this is the full extent of the Grey Knight and Thousand Sons releases, We're not getting updated Strike Marines or Dread Knights or anything like that, and it looks like there's no major expansion of the Thousand Suns range. They're certainly not catching up with their Death Guard cousins anytime soon. I'd be very surprised if we see anything more than the resculpted Crow and the Infernal Master. We also don't have any news of combat patrols coming for them yet. I'm absolutely certain that they will appear at some point. I feel like they're quite likely to fit the same pattern as the Sisters release, where basically there was the initial Sisters Codex release, and then the combat patrol followed on just a little bit later, accompanied by a couple more models that hadn't come out in the initial run. I'll be interested to see what they put in both combat patrol boxes. I guess we might find that out with the previews from the Codex. Maybe we'll be seeing some Terminators on the Grey Knight front, and we'll likely see some Rubric Marines and Sorcerers for the Thousand Suns. Could be a consideration if you don't really like the look of the Hexfire box. There likely will be a discount box on its way shortly after. I suspect that the Combat Patrol might drop around at the same time as the Infernal Master and Castellan Crow are released separately. Again, if the Sisters Palatine and Lilith Hesperax are anything to go by, that should be around about a month later. I don't think you'll be waiting ages and ages if you do pass up on the big box. So anyway, let me know what you think about the Grey Knights and Thousand Suns release. Hopefully we'll be getting a few more rules previews from Games Workshop themselves later this week. It'll be interesting to see how the armies are changing going forward. In any case, feel free to subscribe to Auspex Tactics if you would like to see a full Codex review. I'll be getting them made as soon as possible, and it's going to be fun to try and unpick some of the crazy combos that we can make with the books. I feel like both of these armies are going to be a bit of a challenge with all of the crazy psychic synergy that they can put together. Let me know any thoughts, ideas and predictions down in the comments below. Finally, if you have been enjoying the videos on the channel and you'd like to support, I'd just like to mention my Element Games affiliate link, which is down in the video description below. For those who haven't heard of them, Element Games is a discount retailer based in the UK. They give 10 to 20% off Games Workshop's miniatures, so can let you save a fair amount if you're buying some models from them. If you click on the link in the video description before buying something, a small amount goes to help support Auspex Tactics, and it doesn't cost you any more whatsoever. It can just be a way to help support if you were thinking about buying something anyway, and potentially save a little bit of money while doing so. For people over in the USA and Canada, there is also an Amazon affiliate link down there as well. Again, if you were ordering in something anyway, clicking the link before buying something does mean that a small amount goes to help support the channel. A massive thank you to you guys who have been using those links, it is very nice of you. In any case, an absolute massive thank you for listening. Let me know any hopes and fears for the Grey Knights and Thousand Suns Codex down in the comments below, and I'll hope to see all of you guys next time.